So in a mixed faith marriage. My husband is active LDS Mormon, and I am post-Mormon because of my faith transition. This leads to some pretty interesting conversations between the two of us. And I had an aha this weekend as we were talking about something that I see with mixed faith marriages a lot, because I'm also a life coach for Mormons in a mixed faith marriage. So when I start to see patterns forming, I get really interested. And here's a pattern I've seen that I want to talk about. I teach and believe and try to live in my own marriage that I'm responsible for my emotions and he's responsible for his. And this is something my husband's really struggled with, because for him, part of caring for somebody else is caring how they feel. And I agree with this. And then he takes it a step further. So he wants to make sure they feel certain emotions or not feel certain emotions. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey and tricky for me. The difference between caring and controlling can be a line we easily cross. Caring is a beautiful thing. Controlling, not so pretty. Caring about somebody, caring how they feel, lovely. Having a problem with how they're feeling and feeling bad about yourself for how they're feeling and blaming yourself and beating yourself up and giving up in the relationship because of how they're feeling. Okay, this I would raise some questions around. Here's how it came up. He was so frustrated because I wasn't feeling how he wanted me to feel. I was upset about something, and he said, I'm never enough. I'll never be enough for you. And it was in the context of for you to feel like I can't be enough for you to feel good about this. And I was kind of like, yeah, precisely. He felt like a failure in the relationship because his actions and how he was showing up weren't changing my emotions, my feelings. This is the difference between caring and controlling. When we care for somebody, we love them, we care about how they're feeling, but when we start to control, we cross a line where now if they're not feeling a certain way, it's our fault, our problem, our responsibility. That gets really tricky, because when we take responsibility for other people's emotions, now we start to control. Now we're starting to do things to control them because they need to feel a certain way in order for this relationship to be okay. Care and control are different, and it can be a very subtle, fine line when we cross over from one to the other. And I think some clues when we cross over are this underlying frustration of I'm not enough, I'll never be enough, and so why try? I think that might be a clue that maybe you've crossed over from caring into controlling. If you're caring and not controlling, there's an understanding that I totally care about them, and they need to manage their own emotions and deal with their own emotions, and I'm here with them while they do that, and I'll sit with them and validate them and hold space for them, but I cannot do that for them. Okay, this is Brooke Booth, life coach for Mormons in a mixed faith marriage.